For joining us tonight, I'm Elizabeth Bobian.
And I'm Gino Lamont. The United States Supreme Court announced today that they will take up gay marriage cases, including California's Prop 8 and the Federal Defense of Marriage Act, DOMA.
KMIR-6's Angela Monroe joins us tonight with a local reaction. Angela.
Well, after years of battle, Proposition 8 was ruled unconstitutional and now sits in front of the nation's highest court. The court's decision to take the case delays same-sex marriage in California and could ban it for good. George Zander with Equality California says the Supreme Court's announcement is a mixed bag.
I'm disappointed for people that have to continue to wait, but on the other side, I think the benefits of this are going to be very, very positive.
Proponents of Prop 8 are pleased by the court's decision.
I think it's a good thing. I would trust the Supreme Court more than I would trust the state.
This Palm Springs man who fears his comments could cause retaliation is in a same-sex partnership, but he says marriage is between a man and a woman.
I think marriage should not be redefined as two gays, two lesbians. Marriage for the past 4,000 years has been between a man and a woman. I think they all deserve equal rights.
At Equality California, Zander has been working towards equal rights for decades.
The Prop 8 one is about blatant discrimination of a majority vote taking away a civil right of all these folks, and that's unconstitutional, and that's what 3 federal courts have already decided.
People on both sides of Prop 8 will be watching closely as the Supreme Court rules in 2013.
And whatever they rule, I'll adhere to it. But I just think, we have domestic partnerships, we can have civil ceremonies.
I feel optimistic because of our past history at the federal level and the fact that these cases are wrapped strictly around discrimination against American citizens.
The Supreme Court is expected to hear the cases in March and come back with a ruling in late June. Visit our Facebook page, KMIR-6 News, to tell us what you think about this hot topic. Back to you, Gino.
All right, thank you, Angela. California State Attorney General Kamala Harris issued a statement on the U.S. Supreme Court's announcements regarding Prop 8 and DOMA. Harris said today's decision by the U.S. Supreme Court to consider marriage equality takes our nation one step closer to realizing the American ideal of equal protection under the law for all people. For justice to prevail, Proposition 8 must be invalidated so that gay and lesbian families are finally treated with equality and dignity. KMIR-6 legal analyst John Patrick Dolan joins us now to talk about today's decision by the court to decide. John, what do you think is the most likely outcome of these 2 separate issues that the court's going to hear?
I bet what's going to happen is they're going to rule on the Federal Defense of Marriage Act because that is a strictly federal question that comes out of the Circuit Courts of Appeals, and they're probably going to find there's an equal protection problem. And I think what they might do on Proposition 8 is they might say, look, on California's Proposition 8, we're going to look at this from the perspective of California constitutional law. We're going to affirm what the Ninth Circuit said, which Judge Von Walker said in the district court, which is that Prop 8 is unconstitutional, and we're not going to stick our nose into every other state's business until a case gets ripe and comes up to the Supreme Court. Because otherwise what they're going to do is they're going to make a blanket ruling for states that have same-sex marriage, don't have same-sex marriage, and haven't even discussed same-sex marriage, and I think that's way beyond the pale for the Supreme Court.
And if the Supreme Court does confirm what the Ninth Court already ruled, how soon could this affect us here in California? Well,
their ruling would, their oral argument would be probably in March, ruling come in June. The ruling has to become final, usually that's 60 or 90 days. So by the end of the summer, if they essentially affirm the Ninth Circuit. Remember, Prop 8 is invalid now. It is unconstitutional now. It, however, has been appealed to the Supreme Court of the United States.
By the way, what took so long for them to announce that they would hear this? Didn't they decide last Friday?
They were going to do it 2 weeks ago, and then last week, and then this week. And I bet you anything, the sticking point was, how do we insinuate ourselves into state-by-state decisions in this? And should we do that, or should we just leave Prop 8 alone and let it be invalid and let the people in California do whatever they want to do? And I think they decided, well, there's some grounds that we want to look at here, and maybe we want to rule on the idea that it's a state issue, and we want to leave the other states to rule on or determine their own issues, and maybe then they've gotten the DOMA taken care of, and they've said, if a state wants to say it's constitutional, then it's constitutional, and if a state wants to say it's unconstitutional, then they can do that, and we'll look at it on a case-by-case basis, state by state.
All right, KMIR-6 legal analyst John Patrick Dolan, thank you, sir, as always.
Indeed.